Hello everyone, thanks for coming outside with me today. Today I'd like to shoot and review the Mandarin Duck Glory compound bow. This compound bow is very long axle to axle. It's 40 inches long axle to axle. It is really meant to be a competition style bow, very D-shaped, not parallel limb designed at all. And today I'd like to shoot it, although it's a little bit different than what I normally would do. I've already put the cams in time. I've shot the strings in a little bit. I put the cams in time. I've zeroed out cam lean. I've made sure everything spec-wise for brace height and axle to axle is good. So I'd just like to sling some arrows down range and talk about exactly what I feel with this bow when I shoot it. So I've left the tubed peep in here and I slapped on a Apex, cheap plastic Apex sight, a little stabilizer just for kicks and giggles, and I threw a Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit on there. So can't go wrong with a whisker biscuit. I'm shooting 52 pounds at 31 inches of draw. This is a 400 spine gold tip Expedition Hunter arrow with blazer vanes. It's a very unique draw cycle, and it's indicative of a kind of a cheaper bow setup. So it starts out pretty heavy, and then there's like a second hump to it. It doesn't let you off. It's like a competition style bow. You're pretty much at peak weight or very close to it all the way through to the back wall. It has cable stops integrated into the cams. It's part of the module. And I'll tell you what, it just wants to come right off the wall. I mean, I'm barely letting up, and it's just creeping forward. It doesn't want to let you off at all. Very loud. Incredibly loud bow. 300 feet per second IBO. These are 408 or 407 grain gold tip arrows. Plenty of weight for the setup, although a little bit underspined. Very loud. It has the limb dampeners in there. There's no string silencers in it. Pretty good amount of feedback in the hand. Pretty good amount of feedback in the hand. Really wants to jump forward. A lot of vibration through the riser, but you know, it's a $200 compound bow. What do you expect? It's going to be cheaper. $200 versus, you know, $1,000 or something for a flagship. The group that it's producing down here, it's pretty nice. So let's go down here and take a stare at this group. I would say it's not half bad. About a 2.5 inch group at 20 yards. Pretty good right to left wind as we see it right now. So I'll say that's pretty solid for a $200 compound bow. The three biggest problems for me are the draw cycle, the noise, and then the valley and the let off on the back end. Being a competition style bow, if you're unfamiliar with a hunting bow versus a competition style bow, a lot of competitive archers that shoot spots, so 5-spot, 3-spot, Vegas, Louisville, that kind of stuff. A lot of guys like to shoot a zero valley, very low let off bow. And what that does is, when they come to full draw, that really keeps them honest on the back wall. Like, they have to stay back here and they can't creep. See, I'm just kind of creeping, and the bow kind of wants to creep forward, jump forward, and that really keeps you consistent. But for a beginning archer, if you're not used to that, you know, you get back to full draw, you know, once you get it back to full draw, you get back to full draw, you let up a little bit, and that bow's going to, you know, just shoot right out of your hands. You're not going to have a very positive experience at all. Preferentially for new archers, and myself included, who prefers to hunt with their bow more than anything else, that's not something I'm real wild about. It's just loud. It's incredibly loud. I shot my Elite earlier today just using a decibel app on my phone. It was shooting at 74 decibels just out here in my yard, just kind of out in the middle, and this thing was shooting at 82. So that's pretty loud. Now, would I take it into the woods? I mean, yeah, in a pinch, I totally would. This was my backup bow, and I had it set up and I had it ready to go. You know, and if I had to take it out in the woods, I'd take it out in the woods. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy. It's expected to be heavy because of the axle to axle length and the general size of the bow, the amount of limbs that's there, the riser length, and so on and so forth, the cage that's built into it. It's going to be heavier than your, you know, flagship model bow, but it's still going to be, you know, solid enough to sling an arrow. I mean, I'm making a group here. You know, I just put one right there in the center, and sure, we even have a pretty good amount of crosswind today. Right now, I'm just wadding arrows in there all day long, so I will take it for 20 yards. So there's a positive. I say my three positive things that I like about this bow. One is the price point. For getting a bow that right now has been really solid. The fit and finish on it's fantastic. The strings and cables have held up. I mean, I haven't put thousands of shots through them yet, but they've held up really well so far. The cams are all well put together. Nothing came cracked or chipped or loose. After all the shooting, I marked my limb bolts. I maxed them all the way out, and then I turned them appropriately. They haven't started spinning out on their own. Like I said, the cable slide here is bent, but I haven't seen any of their dinks or divots put into it. The cable slide itself isn't really wearing down the cables prematurely. So I mean, for what it's worth and for the money that you could put into it, it's a very solid bow in that regard. I will say, and this is something that's different for everybody, I really like the grip on this bow. I'm pretty sure they just took the factory seconds from Hoyt and put it on this bow. It's got that narrower at the top, it's got that fatter side plate to it, and it just fits my hand perfectly. Lastly, my third piece is that it's accurate. $200 for a compound bow and the accuracy of it so far. I mean, right now I have about 1.5 inch, 2-inch group at 20 yards. We'll add this arrow to it and see where we sit. Again, not bad. Probably about 1.5 inches, 20 yards. I'll take it. Okay, for absolute kicks and giggles, I have the target set up at 40 yards. I've never shot this bow past 25. Let's see how she does. Well, I am severely impressed. I haven't tuned the rest to this bow, so I did have a little bit of corkscrewing with my arrows, and I got a pretty strong right to left crosswind. But even so, I think I have a 2.5 inch group down there. Let's go down and take a look. Well, Nick's 2 and 2.5 inch. We have about 1 inch group at 40. So looks like accuracy wise it's doing just fine. So the nitty gritty is, would I buy this bow? Would I recommend this bow? I would say if you only have $200 and you don't mind waiting for shipping from China, this is not a half bad bow. I don't think it would give you the greatest introduction into archery. I don't think it would be, the smoothest bow, the fastest bow, the quietest bow. Will it sling arrows down range? Obviously, and sling them down accurately? Sure, and I think it would be a lot of fun to do so. But I don't think that I would say if you have the ability to save your money and to put a little bit more investment into your first getting into archery, I would try to go a little bit up, try to buy something more from the United States, PSC, Bear, Matthews, Mission, Diamond, Bowtech, Hoyt, Elite, whatever. You can buy whatever you want, but for what it is, yes, it's a fantastic little bow. It was easy to tune, I will say that much, being a dual cam system with the 2 bus cables, floating yokes on either end. It ended up being okay to tune, didn't have a problem there. I mean, I can't knock it for being a bow, and I like archery, and I like the world of archery, and it balances well in the hand, and it slings arrows downrange, so what can I complain? So that's all for this video. If you have any further questions about Mandarin Duck's Glory compound bow, feel free to hit me up over on Facebook. You can always send me a message, or you can leave a comment down here on YouTube. I hope you're able to get outside, enjoy God's beautiful creation, enjoy the sport of archery and archery hunting if you so choose, and we'll get to see you next time.